Hi, welcome back to our family craft and devotion night. This is Pastor Kathy.
And I'm Brother Jarod.
And we welcome you to First United Methodist Church of Picayune. Tonight's craft and devotion comes to us from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And if you are on our Facebook page and want more activities to go along with the scripture, just scroll down and there's a post from Saturday titled The Children's Sunday School Lesson. And that has more activities for you to do at home with your kids. Our scripture, as I said, came from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. Corinthians was written by Paul the Apostle. We've talked about Paul before. And he went around founding different churches, planting different churches. And he kept an eye on them. He helped grow them. And he helped mentor them and tell them and direct them like what it means to live in Christian community with one another. And so Corinthians is written to the church at Corinth. And at the church in Corinth, they didn't get along very well.
No.
And there were different people in the church that just butted heads. And you probably are familiar with that concept at home. You don't always get along with your siblings, do you? But this is what Paul had to say to that. So we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. If I speak in tongues of human beings and of angels, but I don't have love, I'm a clanging gong or clashing cymbal. If I have the gift of prophecy and I know all the mysteries and everything else, and I have such complete faith that I can move mountains, but I don't have love, I'm nothing. If I give away everything that I have and hand over my own body to feel good about what I've done, but I don't have love, I receive no benefit whatsoever. Love is patient. Love is kind. It isn't jealous. It doesn't brag. It isn't arrogant. It isn't rude. It doesn't seek its own advantage. It isn't irritable. It doesn't keep a record of complaints. It isn't happy with injustice, but it is happy with the truth. Love puts up with all things, trusts in all things, hopes for all things, endures all things. Love never fails. So Paul was reminding the church at Corinth that whatever they do, that it needs to be done in love. And then he went on to explain what love actually looks like. And that's what we're going to do in our craft today, is to discuss what love looks like and how you can love others. So for our craft, we'll set that to the side. We need some plain paper, some scissors, and then I have some crayons, colored pencils, pens, markers, anything that you can write with will work. So we're each going to take a sheet of paper, and this is just regular copy paper. You can use cardstock, you can use
whatever you want.
Construction paper, whatever you have is fine.
Anything that's paper.
Anything that's paper. And we're going to start on the right side, right here, that's left to you, and fold it over about 1.5 inches. And we're going to be folding these papers like a fan or an accordion. So once you get the initial fold folded, flip it over, and then fold in the opposite direction. So you're not folding over the first one, but you're making it like this. And then you just keep alternating. Once you fold one side, turn it over, and fold the other way. And you're going to go do this down the length of your paper. And you're wanting all your little folds to be the same size, more or less. Once you get to the end, you'll notice that you'll probably have a piece that's kind of shorter than the rest of your folds, you can cut it off. You can fold it with the rest. It doesn't really matter. That's just going to be a little extra part. And so turn it back over to where your first fold is, the right side of our paper, the left side of your paper that you're watching. Going to take a color, preferably a dark color so we can see what we're doing. And we're going to draw a curve at the top in a angled line down at the bottom. So you see you have just a plain curve. I'm going to make that a little darker for you at home so you can see what I did. So at the top, it looks kind of like a sad, frowny face. And then at the bottom, it's just a straight line going from this side to this side, from the corner up. We're going from about 1.5 inches down.
Yeah.
Then we're going to take our scissors. And we're going to cut down our line. And you're not cutting just one layer, but you're cutting all of the layers. So just going to cut here, straight down, just cutting that corner off. And then you're going to cut around the curve, like so. And you unfold. So we now have our garland hearts. You'll notice I have, because of where we started and the extra on the end, kind of half a heart here and 3/4 of a heart here. But there's 2 complete hearts in the center. What you can do with this extra is just tape it to the neighbor, and that way you can have an extra long garland if you would like. And on our hearts, we're going back to our Bible scripture, and it had a lot to say about what love is. And so on each complete heart, we're going to pick another crayon. I'll pick a dark pinkish red. We're going to write one of those words. I'm going to write patient. Now, Jarod, what does patient mean? Able to wait.
Yeah, to wait your turn, to not be in a rush.
And it's more specifically, not to be in a rush, or being able to wait without complaining or getting upset about it. Now, I know, like if I'm in line at Walmart and there's a lot of people in front of me, it's easy to get mad at them, isn't it? Because they're just, seems like they're taking their own time. I have to be there. It's a waste of my time. But that is not an example of being loving, because love is patient.
Love is patient.
So, what is one way that we can be patient?
We could take a deep breath. We could just realize that, when you're at Walmart, there's a lot of people that have to go through the line, that you will get your turn eventually. And maybe just to be understanding.
I think those are good ways. Now, I'm just writing down what Jarod came up with for ways to be patient. And I'm just writing it around the word patient. You can decorate it however you want. You can draw pictures of what this means.
You can make it pretty. You can be creative. And remember to do this on the portion that is actually the heart.
Yeah,
so
that's important. For your first heart, the next word in the verse is love is kind. So we are writing the word kind on our heart. You can decorate it however you want to. And being kind means that you're loving someone, but you're also looking for opportunities to help them and to encourage the other person. You're trying to meet their needs without expecting anything in return. So what are ways that we can be kind? Maybe it's offering to help a friend. Maybe you're really good at math and your friend's not great at math, and you offer to help them, tutor them.
It could be that you help your neighbor who is having trouble maybe putting their groceries away. Maybe you see someone in a community who needs a little bit of extra help.
Those are great ways to be kind to someone. And now, if you're not a great speller, you can always draw pictures. So over here, Jarod is drawing a pair of hands. What do you think that is?
Helping hands.
Helping hands. You use your hands to help other people. Our next word, love is not jealous. So I'm going to put, well, isn't jealous. Now, what does it mean to be jealous?
Let's say someone is good at sports and you're jealous of how good they are at sports. You want to be like them.
It means looking at others and wanting what they have. Instead of being happy for your friend that they're good at sports, you just want to be angry at them. You want what they have. You're not happy for them. You just want to tear them down instead.
You want to take what they have and have it for yourself instead of celebrating what they can do.
And that is not good. That's not how you can be loving. What are ways that we can practice not being jealous?
Congratulate others for what they're good at. Instead of tearing them down, we can lift them up.
Your teachers that recognizes someone and tells them that they did a good job, you can be happy for them. You can celebrate with others. I think another way to not be jealous of others is to remember what you do have. Because if you're so focused on what someone else has, you tend to forget to look down and see what you have. So maybe your friend who's good at sports, you're so jealous of the fact that they're good at sports that you forget that maybe you're good at math. Maybe you're good at helping other people. So remembering what you have, what your gifts are.
Love doesn't brag. Now, Kathy, what does it mean to brag?
It means drawing attention to yourself. It means not being humble. It means being puffed up. So imagine a balloon that's full of air. That's being puffed up. When you brag about yourself, you are blowing air into that balloon. And eventually that balloon is going to pop. You're going to be humbled one way or another, whether you like it or not. And I guarantee you're not going to like it. So let's say you're really proud of an accomplishment. That's good. You should celebrate your wins. You should be proud of yourself. But you do not go around saying, hey, did you know I got all A's this semester? Hey, I did better than you this semester. Look, I'm so much more talented than you at sports. Do you want to be around a person who's like that?
No.
No.
And no one likes a bragger.
It's okay to be proud of what you've done. It's not okay to continually draw attention to what you've done, and to kind of rub it in other people's faces.
So I drew some eyes, drawing attention to yourself for this portion.
And it looks like Jarod has one more heart than I do. So we're just going to do one more. You can go through the entire section of scripture. Again, it's in 1 Corinthians chapter 13. So we're doing one more from our scripture. And it is, love is not rude. What it means to be rude is to not practice good manners.
And this is something that even Brother Jarod has to work on sometimes. Because sometimes I can be a little rude.
He can be. Like, I'm a little impatient. He's a little rude. But we recognize that about ourselves, and we're working to be better. And I think that's the key there, is that you might not fit all of these scriptures, all of these words for love right now. But it gives you something to work towards. It gives you an idea of what loving is, so that is what you can try to be in all of your relationships.
And you could be aware of it too.
Right. So love is not rude. Love is having good manners. So what are some ways that you can practice not being rude? Say your teacher says form a line. Do you shove in front of the person in front of you?
No.
No. That's very rude, isn't it? They got there first. They're their own person. You don't push in front of them. That's not very nice. That's not loving.
See, I have being compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
So that means, like, let's say someone's having a difficult day, and let's say they're having trouble answering a problem in class. You know, like, let's say you're asked a math problem, and that person's just having a hard day. And let's say they totally miss the answer. They're totally off. Instead of being rude and making fun of them and beating them down, you're compassionate. You understand maybe they're having a bad day. So that's one way we can not be rude.
Another way is having good manners means saying please and thank you. When someone gives you something, you're grateful for it. You say thank you. When you're at school and you're in the lunch line and your lunch ladies or gentlemen give you your tray of food, it's okay to say thank you.
Yeah.
That's being kind. That's showing them love. And I'm sure they appreciate your little act of kindness. Everyone likes to be recognized and being thought of.
Yeah.
So these are some ways that you can show how to be loving and live out what Paul meant for us to do as a Christian community, is to love one another. And so these are ways that you can actually practically show that love. And once you get your little garland made with all your little reminders of what love is, hang it in a place that you see every day to remind yourself that you're going to be loving today, and that with God's help, you can be patient, you can be kind. You don't have to be jealous, you don't have to brag, you don't have to be arrogant or proud, and you don't have to be rude or irritable or any of the other things that Paul listed as being loving. So we thank you for joining us today. I look forward to hearing more about how your garlands went and some of your ideas on how to be loving and kind and patient and all of these things with others. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Goodbye.